Hello, welcome to the New Stack Makers, a podcast where we talk about at-scale application development, deployment, and management. Hey, I'm Alex Williams with the New Stack, and we're here at DockerCon in Austin, Texas.
Fun and funky Austin, Texas, and we got a whole bunch of podcasts this week that we're going to be presenting to you.
And since we're in Austin, the music capital. Great to be here as always.
Yes.
Hey, it's Alex Williams, the New Stack, here on the show floor at DockerCon in Austin. And here at the Apcera booth, here with Henry Stapp and Austin of Austin. No, you're not from
We're
Austin.
in Austin.
I was actually born here.
You're born here, all right. Well, Austin of Austin, born from Austin. So let's look at the Apcera Platform just quickly. We're going to get a little quick demo.
Yeah, so Apcera Platform is a full stack container management platform for enterprise. And it's really designed both for developers and IT ops folks. One of the things that makes us different is that we support hybrid cloud. We're a true hybrid cloud platform. So when you set up an Apcera cluster, you can have it span multiple different cloud provider environments. This cluster we have here for the demo is spanning 3 different environments. We've divided them into 3 different data centers. We have our headquarters VMware cluster. It's on Amazon as well and on Google. So it's one logical control plane over 3 different cloud providers. If you jump into the Instance Managers tab, you see we have 18 different virtual machine hosts that can run your instances. And then with just a scheduling tag, you can change, just by policy, change where your applications run. And you don't need to have different products or different clusters set up to run containers on those different cloud providers.
So tell us about the connection to, the connection to containers and how they really apply to the customers these days. How are you seeing the modernization of enterprise applications really relating to container technologies?
Well, so we're seeing 2 different kinds of customers. There are a lot of enterprises out there that have legacy applications, and they're hearing about the world of containers and microservices, and they want to do app modernization, but they're kind of stuck with their legacy applications, and they want to be able to migrate those to cloud, and then also have a way to support those modern containerized applications. With Apcera, you can basically shrink wrap your legacy applications. We modernize the environment around them so that legacy application doesn't even realize it's been containerized. And we're actually seeing a lot of customers that like that idea, like being able to take their legacy application, not make any changes to it, wrap it in a container, and then drop it on a platform where they can run that anywhere. They can run it still on-premise, or they can move it to Amazon or Google, and then get all the benefits of containerization.
How knowledgeable are these people about containers?
It depends. It depends. A lot of folks are hearing about containers now. Docker is really helping kind of publicize the idea of containers, and so we're seeing a lot of traction out there in terms of mind share. But when it actually comes to having fully containerized applications and moving with microservices or next generation architectures, a lot of customers are feeling like, okay, that's down the road, we want to be able to support that, but what do I do about all of my existing applications? And that's something we're really focused on.
Is there what's the building requirement, when you're modernizing these applications with containers? Are you fitting this on top of a virtual machine? Is this, tell us about that architecture itself.
So we're really a platform that sits on top of your virtual machine. So here in this cluster, we've got 18 virtual machines that were created when you installed the cluster, and you can scale up and down your cluster based on what you need. But then once you've set up the infrastructure, the containers just can drop on top, and we offer a management layer that manages different kinds of policy around how those containers can be networked, what their quotas are, where they run, and what kind of contents those containers can have, as well as who has permission to do what where.
How about when you need to rebuild the containers?
Yeah, so we can ingest containers you're already building with an external CI/CD system, or we have a built-in staging pipeline that can ingest your code and then run it through our extensible build process. So whether you want to bring in code or whether you want to bring in containers you've already built, once you rebuild them, then you could just restart them on the Apcera platform and it just restarts them immediately.
Excellent. So what are the new developments that we'll be seeing coming out of this? What are some of the things you're looking ahead to doing with this modernization enterprise platform?
Even more and better support for legacy app modernization. We have customers that are running increasingly large workloads, so huge containers, huge workloads, things like SAP applications that you just want to say, look, I have this big SAP application, I want to bring it and be able to containerize it so I can make it much more agile. So support for very, very large enterprise workloads and improved tooling to support WebLogic, WebSphere, and JBoss workloads that you want to
really
bring on.
moving into that enterprise level environment.
So if you want to modernize those and also have a platform that supports your 12-factor modern kind of web-style workloads or your microservice workloads, this can do all of them.
So you could run this on-premise and through a cloud service?
Yeah, it covers both on-prem and off-prem with one logical control plane. So you don't have to have different products or different clusters, one for on-prem, one for off-prem.
Is that the distinction, that logical control plane?
Yes, that's one of the big distinctions, is a single control plane over multiple clouds. And the other is this idea of being able to modernize and containerize the environment that your app runs in so it doesn't even realize it's been containerized, and we can dynamically template out all the static config files and everything else when that container gets started up.
Now, CI/CD platforms are notorious for requiring a lot of management, right? And control planes require their own set of management.
Yeah.
What are the management responsibilities of the user?
So, well, there are different kinds of users, right? The developer user, the idea is to minimize their management and configuration work. We want it to just work from the perspective of a developer. We want to let them go fast, but going fast isn't enough if you're not safe. So on the policy side, we offer this ability to kind of split out and segment out the duties in an organization. So you have policy administrators who write the policy for quotas or the policy for networks. Maybe your network administrators get permission to write network policy. And then when your developer just deploys the workload into production, all those policies get applied immediately and without any interference from the developer or any responsibility on the developer side. So then on the config management side, we use a lot of open source tools, things like Terraform, to allow you to automate the infrastructure spin up so that it's very easy to kind of install this cluster. That's one of the things we've spent a lot of time on over the last year, is making this platform really easy to get started with, to spin up. So that
installation.
Yeah.
Which can be notoriously difficult.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that distinguishes this from, if you wanted to get started with, okay, I want to do containers, I want to do hybrid cloud, I want to modernize my legacy apps, how do I do that? I don't want to spend a year and hire an entire team to custom build a platform out of 6 different open source projects. I want something that just works. And Apcera is something that you can just install and get started with kind of in a day.
Well, Henry, thank you very much for taking some time.
Thanks, Alex,
Austin, good to see you here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good to talk to you.
Listen to more episodes of the New Stack Makers at thenewstack.io/podcast. Please rate and review us on iTunes, like us on YouTube, and follow us on SoundCloud. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.